Good evening class. In previous video we have discussed that in next video we will see the important features of movement regarding the deforestation. So let's here to start the different types of movements which we are going to discuss, and this is your last topic of the pollution chapter. Okay, after that I will also tell you some most important questions in your NCRT book. Okay, the first one is that this type of movements are generally occurred, but there is a reason behind it. Okay, इनके पीछे इनका कारण ये था that leads to the problem of deforestation. Deforestation means it is not important and it is not a beneficial. But human beings are generally adapted to make beneficial own self, and they are cutting down trees enormously without any watching the interference of environment. Okay, फॉरेस्ट्रेशन का मतलब होता है पौधों को लगाना, एंड डिफॉरेस्टेशन मींस होता है उन पौधों को काटना फॉर देयर पर्सनल यूज. ओके, पर्सनल यूज में बहुत सारी चीजें आती हैं, वी विल डिस्कस इन अ डिटेल मैनर. सो इट इज नॉट अ गुड थिंग फॉर ऑल ह्यूमन बींग्स एंड ऑल्सो एनिमल्स, बिकॉज it leads to the several problems in all over the world, and day by day most of the our important and natural gifts are generally losing by their human efforts के कारण जो हमारे natural beauties है वो धीरे धीरे खत्म होते जा रही है. So let's see here we talk about the deforestation. What is the meaning of deforestation? So I already told you that, and you have also studied in most of the classes that you have in 7th class, 8th class and 9th class. There is a small amount of deforestation definitions are there, but here you have to study in a detailed manner. Deforestation means cutting down of trees in a day by day enormously to increase the beneficial steps of self human beings is called deforestation for their personal use. Okay, personal use means they are the human beings who are generally responsible for deforestation, because human beings are most of the human beings are not aware that if we will cut the tree, it means we are going to face dangerous thing in our environment in the future also. So let's talk about the causes of deforestation. ठीक है, इनके जो causes थे deforestation का first causes to make more land available for housing and urbanization, शहरीकरण करने के लिए. ठीक है, in where most of the places we have seen that there is so much types of plants are there and it looks like a village. So most of the human beings are generally cut down the trees and make a proper house, make a proper garden and make a proper urbanization. शहरीकरण करने के लिए उन पूरे पेड़ पौधों को काटना चालू कर दिया, and that leads to the process of deforestation. वही उनका सबसे बड़ा कारण था डिफॉरेस्टेशन का. फॉर द पर्सनल यूजेस ऑफ हाउसिंग, घर बनाना, अर्बनाइजेशन शहरीकरण करना और ज्यादा से ज्यादा स्पेस अपने फ्यूचर के लिए बचा के रखना, इट मींस कटिंग डाउन ऑफ प्लांट डे बाय डे एंड मोर इन नंबर्स, दैट इज कॉल्ड डिफॉरेस्टेशन. फर्स्ट पॉइंट वी हैव डिस्कस. सेकंड पॉइंट इज दैट to harvest timber plants for creating items like homes, furnitures and papers also, because in India we have seen lots of paper mills and lots of industries are there. Generally they cut down the trees for their personal uses, like they have to use the homes, preparing of homes, furnitures like sofa, chairs, tables, all the things are made up of woods, and firstly they have to cut the trees and they have to implement all these items. Next, paper. Generally paper is a most and important part of our human beings, and generally it is comes from the plant sections. Okay, so for the production of paper and for the production of furniture and homes, human beings are totally adaptable on plants to cut down and use for their fulfillment of their requirement. Okay, now next we are going to discuss that palm tree oil, sandalwood oil, etc. For the production of that types of oil, generally human beings are totally unaware about, and they mostly go through the forest and cut down the different types of plants. Okay, for the production of oil, sandalwood and most of the organs also. And next point is that most of the important features like for making roads for transportation के लिए proper road बनाना, and these roads are not suitable if the plant will be there. अगर पौधा वहां होगा तो roads बनना possible नहीं होगा. So that's why human beings and most of the contractors are generally cutting down the trees. काटे जाते हैं उसको, और काटने के साथ साथ वो जो भी है पूरा प्लेन करके वहां से roads का transportation के थ्रू रास्ता बनाया जाता है. That is called also a causes of deforestation. So our next topic is that jhum cultivations. Jhum cultivation is a special type of cultivation which is generally done by the primitive mans. Primitive mans means Adi Manav. And jhum cultivation is also called slash and burn culture. Okay, slash and burn agriculture means generally most of the primitive organisms are survive for a long time. They have to follow the all the rules and regulations of crop production. After the production of crop, they harvest the crop, they eat all the materials, and they left and they burn the field, and that is called झूम cultivations. Okay, जो भी प्रोडक्ट उनको मिलता था उगाने के बाद वो उसे खा पी के उसको जलाने के बाद दे हैव टू शिफ्ट फ्रॉम अनदर प्लेस, वो दूसरी जगह पे शिफ्ट हो जाते थे और उसको वहीं पे वैसे ही छोड़ देते थे. सो दैट इज ऑल्सो अ डिग्रेडेशन ऑफ फॉरेस्ट सिस्टम, that is called jhum cultivation. Most important, and most of the exams जब questions ask that what do you mean by slash and burn culture, ठीक है, slash and burn agriculture से related है jhum cultivations को हम slash and burn agriculture के नाम से जानते हैं. Now next, the mining operation, most important that our India different type of SCL, ECL and most of the mining factories are developing day by day and for the productions of coal, petroleum, etc. So due to the increasing numbers of this type of factories, all the plants are generally denatured and destroyed by the human effect and different types of machinery, and that also leads to the problem of deforestation. इन सारे operations के कारण हमारा जो एरिया है वो पूरा का पूरा डिफॉरेस्टेशन होते जा रहा है, एंड वी आर टोटली लूजिंग आवर नेचुरल ब्यूटी ऑफ द प्लेनेट. ओके, नाउ नेक्स्ट वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस दैट फॉरेस्ट फायर in Australia. Recently we have seen that in Australia there is a fire cases we have listened, and most of the organisms, most of the plants also burn. Okay, so this is also an important factor by which the deforestation can be causes. Okay, so here we have discussed so many points, and last we are going to discuss that effect of deforestation. If we will not stop the deforestation, cutting down of trees, which type of problems we will face. Okay, the first point is that the most important and dangerous thing is that global warming, because in previous video we have studied what is the meaning of global warming. It means if there is a plant, it means they can absorb several types of ultraviolet radiations. If plant is not there, it means all the radiation will be trapped in atmosphere and it makes hot and hot. It means that our all the globals are generally create warming continuously, means humans and animals will be affected 100%. Okay, so deforestation reduce the soil cohesion, so that soil erosion, flooding and लैंडस्लाइड इंस्योर. ठीक है, डिफॉरेस्टेशन का सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट कारण है इफ वी विल कटिंग डाउन ऑफ ट्रीज कंटिन्यूअसली, अगर हम पेड़ को काटते जा रहे हैं कंटिन्यू, तो प्लांट जो है जनरली इट होल्ड्स द सॉइल पार्टिकल्स को होल्ड करके रखता है, एंड आफ्टर द कटिंग डाउन ऑफ ट्रीज वो सॉइल को छोड़ देके बाहर आ जाता है, एंड दैट टाइम्स इट रिड्यूस द सॉइल कोहेजन एंड सॉइल इरोजन, फ्लडिंग और लैंडस्लाइड, ये सब कारण होते हैं ड्यू टू द डिफॉरेस्टेशन के प्रोसेस होने से हमें ये सारी प्रॉब्लम्स देखने को मिलती है. Okay, now next, the human life is also affected. Okay, for the productions of human life में सबसे बड़ा important role play होता है इसका. Human lives are generally affected by the losses of plants. Several types of plants जो दिन पे दिन खोते जा रहे हैं, इनको सबसे बड़ा जो problems होने वाला है वो है for the productions या for the requirement of oxygen which are they are getting from the plants, ऑक्सीजन की कमी. सेकेंड पॉइंट इज दैट बहुत सारे फूड मटेरियल, फूड स्टफ्स जो इनके फॉडर के काम में या इंसानों के काम में आते हैं, ये सब से ह्यूमन लाइफ जो है अफेक्टेड हो रहा है, एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म एनिमल्स आल्सो अफेक्टेड बाय दैट टाइप ऑफ एक्टिविटी. सो वी हैव टू स्टॉप द डिफॉरेस्टेशन एंड वी हैव टू मिनिमाइज द सेवरल टाइप्स ऑफ पेपर्स, वी हैव टू मिनिमाइज द सेवरल टाइप्स ऑफ furnitures, tables and most of the woods material. Okay, so there are several types of steps to reduce deforestation. यहाँ पे कुछ ऐसे steps हैं जिससे हम deforestation को use कर सकते हैं. First step is that minimizing of paper materials, furnitures, tables, etc. Okay, we have to use in a limit. हमको सिर्फ लिमिट में यूज करना है. ठीक है. Now next, reforestation should be there. Reforestation means planting of more and more trees called reforestation. After that, the increasing the number of plants will also ensure the beneficial part of our environment. अगर ज्यादा reforestation होंगे, पौधे लगेंगे, हमारा जो ऑल ओवर द जो वर्ल्ड है वो पूरा का पूरा एक ग्रीन सिनेरियो में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा और हमें प्रॉपर ऑक्सीजन, प्रॉपर फूड मटेरियल्स एंड प्रॉपर फूड स्टफ्स इजिली अवेलेबल हो सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये सब स्टेप्स रिड्यूस डिफॉरेस्टेशन था. आफ्टर दैट डिफॉरेस्टेशन लीड्स टू सेवरल डिजास्टर्स मूवमेंट. डिफॉरेस्टेशन पहले जो थे ये काफी डिजास्टर्स मूवमेंट में हुआ करते थे. नाउ दैट द गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड हैज टेकन द फॉरेस्ट वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन मीन्स दे आर डूइंग मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम टू सेव द प्लांट्स. ठीक है, पहले ऐसा नहीं था. वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्कस वन ऑफ द स्मॉल स्टोरी एंड यू ऑल हैव टू फोकस वेरी केयरफुली. Firstly, we have to going through the most important features of Khezarali Mesakir. Okay, Khezarali Mesakir is it is a small village of Jodhpur district, and Jodhpur district generally we generally know that it lies in Rajasthan. Okay, so Khezarali Mesakir is a small village where several types of human beings are survived and not a very expanded manners. Okay, only some of the families are generally survived. So one day, Abhay Singh, the Maharaja of Jodhpur, Abhay Singh had ordered to their soldiers go to the village and cut down several trees because I need a well and magnificent palace. Abhay Singh ने ऑर्डर दिया अपने सोल्जर्स को इन सितंबर 1731. ठीक है, इन सितंबर 1731 उन्होंने अपने सोल्जर्स को ऑर्डर दिया, गो एंड कट डाउन द सेवरल ट्रीज for the productions of most of the requirement to fulfill their new palace, ताकि उनके new palace में जो जो चीजें लकड़ी की बन सकती हैं उसके लिए. and most of the soldiers are generally went to the forest and they entered in the village of Khezarali. Okay, Khezarali village में जब ये enter होते हैं, then all the soldiers are faced to Amrita Devi Bishnoi. जब वो enter हुए तो उनके सामने एक वुमेन थी, अमृता देवी बिश्नोई. She was most encourageous woman and she was protesting against the cutting of tree. ठीक है, वो एक प्रोटेक्टिंग का काम कर रहे थे, पेड़ों को बचाने का मुहिम चला रही थी और ये जनरली जो भी पूरा काम हो रहा था. एंड अमृता देवी बिलोंग्स टू द फैमिली या समाज जिसको हम कहते हैं वो बिश्नोई समाज से रिलेटेड थी. ठीक है, बिश्नोई मींस वी नो दैट बिस मींस 20 and Noi means 9, overall 29. ठीक है, तो in this book and most of the botany section we will study that 29 principles are based on the basis of the given massacre for the production of plant and do not cut and save the environment. Bishnoi Samaj has given the clear cut idea regarding the wildlife protections. Okay, so in this, when the soldiers sent by Abhay Singh generally went to the forest, they generally start to cutting that several types of women and most of the human beings are adopted and hugged to the trees to protect the trees from cutting down. And that time the 360 pupils were killed. 363 लोग वहां पे killed मारे गए थे by the soldiers of Abhay Singh के soldiers के द्वारा. And that movement leads to the Khezarali massacre. Okay, after that the government of India totally banned this type of movement and they produced the wildlife protection award to Amrita Devi Bishnoi, and whoever contributed the encourageous and most of the beneficial role to protect the plant for cutting. Okay, तो इसमें सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ये देखा गया था कि जो भी पौधों को काटने आ रहे थे उनको बचाने के लिए अमृता देवी बिश्नोई, ठीक है, इसके साथ और भी उनके जो भी मेंबर्स थे उन्होंने अपनी सैक्रिफाइस, अपना कुर्बानी दिया उस पेड़ को बचाने के लिए. एंड अप्रॉक्स 363 पीपल्स वर किल्ड ड्यूरिंग दिस मूवमेंट एंड दिस मूवमेंट लीड्स टू खेजराली मैसाकेर. ये जो मैसाकेर था वो रिलेटेड टू डिफॉरेस्टेशन से था. ओके, सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द deforestation. Now next we are going to discuss one of the movement also, Chipko movement. Okay, after that, so here we have to discuss the next movement and that is the Chipko movement. Okay, and this movement is also correlated with the Khezar Ali massacre, but it is different from that. Okay, it is held in UP, Uttar Pradesh, in a Rani village. I think it is a distance of Indo-Tibetan border, approx 22 kilometer distance. ठीक है. In this, the Sundarlal Bahugona, Chandi Devi Bhatt, and Srimati Gaura Devi, three persons plays an important role for the procession of the village in Rani village on according to 26th March 1974, when the most of the male persons went up to the headquarters to protect the wildlife. That time the contractor had ordered their servicemen to go and cut down the trees because there is a female and female will not interfere. Okay, when the most of the contractors are generally sent to their labors to cut down the trees, several types of women are generally get together and start a procession to protect the trees. Okay, this leads to the functions of Chipko movement. They went and hugged the trees to save for cutting down. Okay, वो जाके पेड़ों के साथ अपना रिलेशंस, उनके साथ काफी झुंड थी और जाने के साथ साथ वो सब एक एक पेड़ों के साथ चिपक गए. एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड चिपको मूवमेंट. ओके, मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट सुंदरलाल बहुगुणा, चंदी देवी भट्ट एंड श्रीमती गौरा देवी प्लेज एन इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट टू फेयर ऑफ दिस टाइप ऑफ मूवमेंट. इस मूवमेंट को करने में जैसे इसमें अमृता देवी बिश्नोई थी, सेम हियर these three pupils plays an important role to sacrifice their whole life to the Chipko movement for protecting of wildlife. Okay, after that government of India has totally banned the 15 years of ban they have included. Okay, now the joint forest management is also introduced in our India. That's the several types of decisions taken to protect the different types of plants. Okay, and if any persons generally they want to cut the trees, they have to give some uh, most of the important wages, and they have to give a presence for several years. So government of India has totally banned all these things. Okay, deforestation जो है आज के डेट में मोस्टली जो इलीगल मैनर में होते हैं उसको इंडिया पूरी तरीके से बैन कर चुकी है. जो ये करता है उनके लिए कुछ सजाएं है, कुछ जुर्म है. ठीक है. So this is all about the pollution chapter, and pollution chapter is already completed. Now the homework is that you all have to give me adjunct answers of Khezar Ali massacre and next Chipko movement. Okay, you all have to write in a paragraph and send me in my personal WhatsApp. Thank you, students.